I'm very excited to introduce Bernard-Henri Lévy. You have too many titles, so I'm just going to look at you here on the screen. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I am in the middle of a big campus tour that took me from one American university to another in solidarity with the Jewish students who are, as you know, harassed, designated as targets, and isolated in their campuses. We are facing a very strange and terrible situation since October 7.
So,
in American university, to say it in one word, all minorities are protected unconditionally, except the young Jews. They are no longer or not enough.
So we all see the news all the time about campus anti-Semitism, but I'm curious to see someone like you, who's an intellectual, a philosopher, a thought leader for the Jewish people. When you go to a place like that, and you're a bit older than I am, not so much more, but a bit older, what can you give me an example of what people are telling you?
What people are telling me, it's not an example, it's a general
feeling,
a general story. They all say that they feel isolated, that they are in a deep disarray, and that America, who used to protect the Jews unconditionally, is now protecting them under condition that for the left, that they are not too pro-Israel, that they are not too much pro-Zionist. On the right, that they are not Democrats or not too much liberals. There is this new notion of a conditional protection and safety in a lot of campuses, the feeling of that. And I think it is true. I think that these young girls and boys are in a very difficult situation in some universities. I was on Michigan, on the campus of Michigan University. I was in UCLA. I was in USC. I was in Columbia. I was in Harvard, and this is the general feeling which I collected.
So, since you're a French Jew, is this what happened in France 10 or 20 years ago? And are we seeing the same thing, or is it different?
In France, there is something else. There is a deep anti-Semitism, which is very deeply rooted in our culture and in the population. In America, no. America is globally pro-Jews, but on campuses, there is this movement, which is very special, specific to America, and really a big concern. You have some demonstrations of crazy guys masked like Ku Klux Klan and chanting Free Palestine, globalized Intifada, and so on. And this can lead to the worst. You saw that in Amsterdam a few days ago, but what happened in Amsterdam can happen anywhere, even in America.
So, Bernard, I assume the part of your desire to go from campus to campus is to give hope and to teach about Jewish identity. So what do you tell them? What do you tell them?
I tell them, number one, that they don't have to be ashamed of supporting Israel, even from their liberal point of view. When they are liberals, they should be proud of Israel and of supporting Israel. They don't support Israel in spite of their liberal creed, but because of the liberal creeds. Israel is a real democracy with a real transgender or intergender brotherhood and so on. So I tell them that. I try to reinforce their conviction. And number two, on some points, I try to share my own experience. For example, Israel is accused of committing genocide. I know what a genocide is. I know it firsthand because I documented some genocides in Darfur, in Rwanda, in Bosnia. So I know what it is, and I really believe that associating the two words, Israel and genocide, is just moronic. It's just stupid, and I explain why. Why? Same for apartheid, which is another of the bullet points of the pro-Hamas people on campuses. Apartheid is so stupid. Apply to a country, Israel, who has a minority of 20% of citizens, who have full citizenship, and who are not Jews, who are
Yeah.
Arab, and so on, who are welcome to be so,
Yeah.
and so on. You know, the anti-colonial argument, the idea that Israel is a colonial fact. Again, you have to be so ignorant to tell something like that. And this is what the message which I try to convey also to my young comrades on the campuses. I studied what is colonialism. I know what colonialism means, and it just does not match even a little with what Israel is today.
I have a question for you. So you've been engaged in Jewish life and thought for many years. I haven't spoken to you, I don't think, in the last year. But my sense is that, as many Jews, something has changed. Whether your approach or your thought regarding Jewish peoplehood, regarding Israel. Am I correct?
If I change myself, no, never.
Never. No,
Never,
but
no.
I'm saying, have you been affected in a way in the past year that maybe
Yes,
changed certain things you think?
I have been affected. Yeah, two things happened since 1 year. Two things, a lot of things. But number one, October 7 was the proof that there is no place in the world where Jews are completely safe. This invasion of Israel by squadrons of Hamas proves that even Israel, which is a shelter for all persecuted Jews in the world, is not completely a shelter. One thing. Other thing, Amsterdam this week proves, conversely, proves that we need a strong Israel, because look at what happened, and I thought in myself that thanks God Israel is there. You can have planes who come and take back the supporters of the Maccabi club to Israel. So at the same time, the fragility of Israel, at the same time, the necessity of Israel. I'm probably more aware of both of the two things since 1 year and 1 month, 13 months.
And how do you see us moving forward as a nation?
As a nation, I'm not pessimistic. I think that Zionism is not out of breath at all. I think that the democracy in Israel is more vibrant than ever. I was on Hostage Square a few months ago, delivering a speech for the comeback of the hostages. I was at the side of the families. Honestly, a country at war, in such a state of war, having on Saturday night such a demonstration of opposition to the government, that's the proof of such a vibrant and living democracy. It is an example for the rest of the world. And those who are on Hostage Square, they protest, but they fight. They protest on Saturday night, but on Sunday they are back in their in their battalion if they are IDF, or they see their sons going back to their battalion to defend the fatherland. So this mix of patriotism and democracy is the proof that Israel is in good shape.
Okay. So finally, you also in the past few years created a film in Ukraine regarding the war there. How much of a similarity do you see between the two wars, the Russian-Ukrainian war and Israel Seven Front War?
I made 3 films about Ukraine.
Right.
I spent a lot of time since 2 years, and in a sense, since 10 years. And for me, it is the same battle. Same battle for freedom, same battle for against authoritarian regimes, same battle against the same enemy, Iran for Israel, Russia for Ukraine. It's not the same, but they are so closely linked, Russia and Iran. They are so close allies that you can say that Israel and Ukraine are the two front lines of the same global war.
Okay. And finally, do you have a message for those watching in Israel, in the U.S., in Ukraine, who are tired, who are, who don't have a lot of hope? What message can you give them?
Of course, they are tired. How could they not be tired? In Ukraine, 2 years of an incessant fight with so little weapons, and a support from their allies who is so conditional and so weak. And in Israel, it's more than tired. Having 100 of your co-citizens, your parents, your affiliates, retained hostages whom you commonly imagine living in wet tunnels in terrible conditions. This is more than tiring. It is a torture, a moral torture for every, of course, the families, but every Israeli and every Jews in the world. At least for me, I can tell you that one of my first thoughts every morning when I wake up in Paris or in Ukraine is for the hostages.
Wow.
For the hostages retained in Gaza.
So, Bernard-Henri Lévy, thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy going from campus to campus, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And you should speak to us more and give us more strength and Jewish unity. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.